Welcome back to Inside City Hall. A new effort is looking to give city students a voice by bringing a school newspaper to each and every public school by next September. The nonprofit group Students Disrupting launched just last month, and according to the group, only 200 of the city's 1,700 schools have a student-run paper. I am joined now by its executive director, Dennis Mihalsky. He's a teacher at the City College Academy of Arts in Inwood and launched its first newspaper, the Claw Weekly, earlier this year. Tahlya Valcourt is a senior at the school and the newspaper's editor-in-chief, and junior Jahdiel Benzant is a fashion reporter. Thank you all for being here, and I'll start with you, Dennis. You're sort of preaching to the choir here as far as the importance of journalism, but what's so great about student newspapers?
Well, thank you so much for having us on. So I started the student newspaper in my English class. It was a class of special ed students, ESL students, and general education students. And I am an avid news consumer. So every day I am reading the news, and I noticed that my students were not so much engaged with what was happening in the community nationwide. They were mainly getting their news from social media. So I realized that it was time that we should do a media literacy unit, and I realized the best way to do that was to create a student newspaper. And within a week of creating it, I saw a transformation in the class that I have never seen before, and even speaking to other teachers, they were so shocked by what had transformed.
And now you want to take it citywide to every high school?
Yeah, to every
public school.
Middle school, high school. We really want to take it as far as we can because the impact that it's had on the school community has been so positive that I really want to see it done in every school.
So, Jahdiel, I want to ask you, you're the paper's fashion reporter, and I hear you had a good get, as we say, for your first interview, right?
Yes, for my first article, I got an interview with Cardi B's makeup artist, Errol. She was very sweet. You know, I wish it would have been in person, but she was very busy, so she just did a survey with me, and it was an amazing opportunity, and I'm so glad I got that interview.
And the piece hasn't run yet, right? And Tahlya, let me ask you, as a paper's editor-in-chief, you've been doing this for 2 years, and the paper has sort of gotten some results, right? It's been something that school administrators have paid attention to.
Yeah, luckily our school administrators are fine with everything that we run. They kind of leave it in me and Mr. Mihalsky's hands, thankfully, because I know a lot of schools don't have that same opportunity.
And there was a student council that was created as a result of one of the stories, right?
Yeah, the newspaper gave them the confidence to speak up about a policy that our school had just ran about our bathrooms. Like, they started locking our bathrooms, and a lot of their students did not like that. So they took that and they formed the new student body council now.
Right. And the paper is actually printed? This is a physical paper, or it's just online?
No, it's printed. We're hoping to expand to online, but for right now it's printed and distributed in school.
Right. And as far as students in your experience actually pay attention to the news, where do they get their news? I know you mentioned social media, but do people actually read the physical newspaper, or is it social media?
Besides our school newspaper, I don't know many people who read the newspaper in general. A lot of us get our information from social media, which I generally don't like, because I feel like as young people, our brains are really malleable. So, and with all the fake news and stuff that's out there, I don't really get favor for getting our news from social media.
Well, I was going to say, we hear this from the president calling the media fake news and enemy of the people and all that stuff. Jahdiel, do you think that that has sort of seeped into the consciousness of student journalists? What's your perspective on all that?
I think that right now, in the age of social media, anyone can believe anything, especially with any headlines. You know, a journalist can make up any headline and then make a person who they were interviewing, make them seem as a bad person. So now that with this age in social media, anyone could believe anything, like, oh, okay, it's fake news, we won't believe that, but it could actually be true. And with what we're doing, we're trying to change that, trying to force students to actually, get into journalism. They don't have to pursue a career in that, but they can also, pay attention to it, pay attention to what's happening in the real world and outside.
Right, be able to figure out what's real and what's not. The journalism profession has obviously been on the decline in some ways. We've seen papers closed down, layoffs, that sort of thing. What do you tell kids in terms of professional career path? It seems like that would be a little bit of a bleak sort of path, right?
Yeah.
What do you tell kids?
Yeah, well, the one thing that I strongly disagree with is when anybody says that reporters or media are the enemy of the people or anything of that sort. When it comes down to it, Student Press Law Center has actually found that with the decline of local newspapers, students have actually become 20% of states' news corps. So that means that if you're going to be calling reporters or media the enemy of the people, that means that you're going to be saying that youth are the enemy of the people. And that's something that I just very much strongly disagree with, because when you see the students when they're in the classroom, they are following the rules, the code of ethics that come along with journalism. It's not just that one of them comes to me and says, I'm really upset about something, I'm going to write this story. I tell them, if you're upset about it, you have to go find both sides of the story, and you need to be able to report it without your opinion in it.
Right.
And it really has changed their view of being able to see real news when they see that there's both sides in it and there's not somebody's opinion in it, as opposed to when they see blogs where it's just somebody saying, I think this, I think that. So it's really transformed their thinking of how news is done.
Well, it's important work, and keep at it. I appreciate you guys coming in here to talk with us, and good luck in the campaign to bring this citywide.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right, thanks, guys. That is going to do it for tonight's show. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend. We'll see you the next time on Inside City Hall.